Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to be taking a real quick look at the BitPixel, which is the animated LED marquee from AtGames that can be used for the Legends Ultimate Arcade machine, or if you're doing some kind of DIY solution with one of their other products. So they sent this out to me for purpose of review, and I just wanted to jump on it, get it set up, take a look at it, give you guys my thoughts and impressions on this, share any of my frustrations, what I like, what I dislike, all that kind of good stuff, right? So this may seem familiar to a lot of you guys who have seen the Pixelcade LED marquee, which is another product that has been made for numerous devices out there. The arcade one-ups, also the Legends Ultimate Arcade machine. Well, AtGames and Pixelcade, they are working together to collaborate and produce these BitPixels for the Legends Ultimate at a lower price than what Pixelcade was selling them for. So I got this thing, got it set up. Actually, it was very simple to get it set up. Took just a matter of a few minutes. I wasn't 100% like how this was going to work. Do I have to disassemble the arcade machine, do all sorts of crazy stuff? The answer is no. All I had to do was remove 3 screws from the built-in marquee, the light-up marquee that's on the machine, just 3 of the screws, and replace them with screws that came with the BitPixel that kind of extend out. That way you can just put the BitPixel, slide it in, and it's up there. You don't have to remove anything else. So that was really nice. I mean, if you want to take it off, your old marquee is still back there. So I did have some issues at first, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And it was kind of a little bit of a learning curve that I didn't realize because the documentation that came with this wasn't very clear on a couple things. So I had to point that out. But once I got this installed, I put in my USB drive that I use for CoinOps X, which you have to use through the Flash Drive X utility within this system now. So you have to have a separate partition on that drive. It's pretty simple to do. Have that set up, and then your CoinOps, whatever else you're going to be running on this machine. So as long as you have a Flash X drive mounted to this machine, you can run the Pixelcade application. And just, you have to install it, and then you launch it. You can launch it, stop it, whatever. As soon as I launch it, the marquee just works. Gets that little welcome message, all that good stuff. Now, my initial frustrations, which I just want to share because more so, just things that I had found out with messing with this, and it'll save, some people out there a headache who decide to purchase one of these. But there's a little switch on the PCB on this, BitPixel. When you have it flipped over, you could see that there's a PCB where you got to plug in your power supply. You plug in the USB that has to be plugged into the machine. And then there's an SD card slot. It does come with an SD card with all the files on it. But there's a little switch next to that. And I couldn't figure out what it did because it's not marked. I went to the Pixelcade website and I seen, the PCB is essentially the same, but on the Pixelcade it was marked like, hey, this is for Bluetooth, this is for USB. So mine, the position was in the Bluetooth position instead of USB, so I was getting some weird activity with the marquee to where I thought maybe it just wasn't working right. Maybe I broke it or something. But once I flipped that switch and I got everything reset up, it worked fine. Now, one other thing besides that, it didn't just work fine straight away. I started running into a few issues with using both the USB ports on the machine. So that's one thing I want to point out as well, is I had my CoinOps build plugged in, then I had the BitPixel plugged in, and I think maybe there's something going on using both USB ports with maybe the specific USB drive I'm using. I'm not 100% on that, but sometimes the BitPixel would not work properly. So I went to using a USB hub, which is suggested for a lot of things here. That way you're not using up both of the USB ports on the system. Plugged in a USB hub, plugged in the BitPixel, plugged in my CoinOps build so I can use it, as flash drive to run Pixelcade. And ever since then, it has ran flawlessly for me. I've had no issues. I power off the machine, the marquee turns off, power on the machine, launch Pixelcade. I do have to launch Pixelcade, and it does mention that in the manual that comes with this device that you have to launch Pixelcade to have it, actually work properly. So every time you turn the machine on, you just launch Pixelcade. It takes 2 seconds, just a minor thing, but you launch that, and then now every game that you hover over, every option that you hover over, the marquee will light up and show that. And some of the games I thought was pretty cool. They have like some really neat animated, visuals going on this LED marquee. Now, I hope my video can clearly demonstrate how nice this thing looks, but when I recorded this, it just wasn't showing as bright no matter what settings I set on my camera. But this thing looks very nice in person. The colors pop, all that good stuff. The animation looks really nice for, those marquees that are animated. But I think it's a really neat add-on to the system. If, it's something, you don't have to have this, but it's just kind of cool. And I know some people dig these kind of things. For me, I'm loving it after I got it working 100%. Before then, yeah, I was having a little bit of frustrations, but like I said, it was just a little bit of, maybe the instructions weren't as clear, and, the switch was flipped. I'm not even sure if it was flipped when I received it or if I accidentally pushed it when I plugged in the USB and whatnot. But that little switch on the PCB has to be pushed up toward the USB port on the PCB, not down toward the micro SD card slot. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So having a USB hub plugged in, having that switch in the proper location, I've had no issues. I think this thing looks fantastic. It's really neat. I like that it's just a quick and easy install. If I didn't have any of these issues with that switch to begin with, yeah, I would have been up and running in a matter of a couple minutes. So yeah, I'm digging this thing. I think it's really neat. I wish there was like a smaller one to put on the pinball machine. That would be kind of cool. But hey, just wanted to share my thoughts on this thing. I think through the AtGames website, they have it up for pre-order. And it's the reason they collaborated with Pixelcade and AtGames is to provide it cheaper than what Pixelcade was doing. So I believe they were selling this for around $300, and AtGames is selling it for a bit less than that, maybe around $200 or so. I'll put a link in the description. I'm not 100% what they have it listed as right now. I just know it's cheaper than the Pixelcade version. So take a look if you're interested. I think this thing's really neat. Thanks for watching. Got more videos coming up. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You know what's up. And with that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye and boom. Bye.